Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of PowerCore Productions and Podcastings. And in today's video, we have come to an end to yet another series. This is the Season 1 finale for Eminence in Shadow, The Shadow's Web. What if Sid Kagenou was Spider-Man? Season 1, Part 5, the Season 1 finale. As always, if you're new to the channel or if you're a regular and like what we have to offer, then please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for post notifications so you can stay up to date on everything that is PowerCore Productions and Podcastings that's to come out now and in the future. You know, it's always sentimental when we get to the end of a series or a particular season of a series, mainly because for this one, it was unique to say the least, writing this. Anyone who comes across the story, you may think it's just a hodgepodge of Spider-Man, anime, and whatever random Marvel stuff that I could come up with. But really, to get a chance to, dive into different mythos of the Marvel universe and pull on different heroes and stories and create something that's truly special, I had a lot of fun making it. And I'm thankful for everyone who's been following along and watching along. I thank you as always. Without further ado, let's get into today's video. So as always, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. The Bushin Festival had now arrived. However, for Sid, that was the least of his worries. Unlike in the original timeline, Sid Kagenou had no reason for participating in the tournament this time around. Mainly being because he didn't feel the need to show off in any form or fashion, and there was no fighter that was really worth his time or attention. And besides, there were even more pressing matters to attend to. Recently, Princess Rose, from the country of Orania, had now been charged with attempted murder, that being of her fiancé, Lord Perv Asshat. Now, for Sid, he had no idea with a name like that if that was just intentionally to make the guy's life miserable, or if it was just some weird family name. It made no difference. However, the serious note was the fact that Rose was being targeted. So much so that the Six Saints of Midgar had now been tasked with hunting her down, along with the other authorities. For Rose, she found herself running in the ruins underneath the country of Midgar, attempting to evade capture. Even for Natsume, aka Beta, along with Alexia, they too were worried about their recent comrade in arms, wondering what could have led her to try to do such a thing. With the political aspect aside, there were so many different juggling circumstances all moving around at once. If just one false move was made, potentially war between the country of Midgar and Orania could break out in full, and that was the last thing anyone wanted. So safe to say, everyone for the most part were on pins and needles, staying on guard, making sure not to slip up even for an instant. For Rose, she had suspected something was wrong with her father, that he was under some sort of control by the one known as Perv. And she had reason to be correct. Her father was in a catatonic state and couldn't break himself free. He was under the control of the one whom she was destined to marry. In the end, this was probably nothing more but a way to conspire to get the throne. Was it the work of the cultists? Possibly. But even if it was, what could Rose possibly do? She didn't have the strength, the resources. She had nothing. No possible way of taking them down, of stopping them. Of course, she wanted to confide in her friends, but she knew she couldn't. In the end, Alexia, she was still a princess of Midgar. Even if Alexia wanted to help, even if she tried to help, It could only take her but so far in the world. Almost as if it were by fate, she would hear the playing of piano music, a song she had heard, but now played in its most elegant of states. As she arrived, she would find the one playing the piano, the masked figure, the Spider-Man. I must say, I have heard that song played over 1,000 times, and yet it is the most beautiful of renditions. I do it to pass the time, Spider-Man would say, as he looked towards Rose. And they say I'm the one that goes around causing trouble. Look at you, Miss Most Wanted. I guess you have every right to say that. But I know you have your reasons. Huh? Come on. Everyone else might be fooled, but I'm not like everyone else. Why did you really attempt to kill Perv Asshat? I have reason to suspect that he has my father under some sort of manipulation and control. I tried to stop him, but instead, the guards, the people, they've all turned against me. And now you find yourself on the run. Do I believe it's the work of the cult? I wouldn't be shocked. After all, what they're after is complete domination and control of the world for their own ends. Plus, I had reason to suspect that Orania would be one of their prime targets. My country? But what? Do you know about the story of Diablos, the god of destruction? I have heard some tales. Well, do you know about the Pantheon, the Hall of the Gods? Yes, they are all worshipped in the world, and there is only one that remains. The rest of the Pantheon were destroyed long ago. No, Rose said in disbelief. Are you telling me that of all the gods, only one remains? How is that even? There was a great battle, Rose. A battle between Diablos and the gods. Only one managed to survive and make their way back to the heavens. The others tragically lost their lives in an effort to seal Diablos away. However, some of the gods, before dying, passed on their power to mortals. This is what's called blessings, the inheritance given to select families that are considered royalty. You know some of them? You mean like Captain Midgar, the fiancé, the Princess Iris? It's said that he embraced the blessing of the lion. Are you saying that that was the power passed down by the gods? Indeed it was. There are probably many more like him out there, although I can't count them all. I too have the blessing, although unlike everyone else, my blessing is not hereditary. Instead, I got it directly from the source, from the last remaining god, Arachne. Arachne, the spider goddess. She is the only one that remains, but how do you know all of this? Because I am living proof. I am the one that bears her mark. Then why have you come to me? You remember what I said to Princess Alexia about being a hero? You're not a hero. You're right, I'm not. And it's because of this reason in particular that I could never be a hero. You took the course of action that was justified, and now you are branded a criminal for it. Now your own country is against you, despite you being the one that's trying to save it. Isn't it ironic in a way? You championed yourself a hero, And look at how quickly they turned. But it doesn't matter. They're my people, my country. I have to save them any way I can. I can't just leave them. Of course you can't. Your duty is to protect them, to protect the innocent, to not allow them to fall into the clutches of evil. Do you now understand? This is the burden that I bear, the responsibility that I must shoulder. This is what I do for the world. I am the world's justice and truth. Because unlike a hero, justice cannot lie. Truth overshadows all. And I am the shadow of truth. I expose the lies that are bathed in the light. Many people often confuse evil with the shadows, but truthfully, evil can be done in the light as well. More often than not, it's justice that's pushed into the darkness, because in the end, victory is given to those who are the conquerors, the winners. In this world, everyone has a story. Everyone believes they are the hero of their own story. And only when you are the victor, only when you lay claim to the throne, is that story written the way that you want it to be. I, however, do not subscribe to such theory or thought. No. Instead, I will never be the hero. I will never be the champion of any country. I am simply the justice of the world. If that justice means that I should go against Midgar, I will do just that. If I must go against any country, against any person, I will do what I must. So what are you saying? Because my country has fallen, you will destroy my country? No, I will not destroy your country. However, I will be the cure to the poison of your country. I will dig down to the roots of the poison and rip it from its foundation, setting it off of its perch and burning it to ash. That is the type of justice I want to be. A justice that does not discriminate. A justice that does not care about power or status. In the end, I am the one that will hold all accountable for their actions. That is what I want to be. Tell me, can you become that? Can you be that? If so, Spider-Man would hold out his arm towards her, holding and imbuing some of his power. Then take it. It's but a portion of my blessing from the one that grants me my strength. Take this power, forego your title, and become justice. But can I do such a thing? Do you have the will to do such a thing? If you have the resolve, then you have the will. Rose would reach for the power, taking its portion and imbuing it into herself. As quickly as he had been there, he disappeared. And then only those who served Diablos remained. So it is true then. You are the ones who have infected my country. Rose would draw her sword. Cult of Diablos, I will be the justice that liberates Orania, and you will fall by my hands. As she would cut down the guards, in the meantime, Sid had to play double duty. The Bushin Festival tournament was still going on, and while he wasn't participating, his sister was, and she was going to be damned if her brother would break another promise. So she made sure he would be there in attendance to watch, as she would eventually claim hold and actually be the victor in the tournament. He had to say, he was actually impressed with her, and he was actually able to keep a promise for once. He never understood people that had to be all these places everywhere at once. I mean, even if you had to go across town to have a fight, if you had the means to get there in a quick time, you can get back in a quick time. No excuses. All the same though, sitting in the prize seats of the arena, sitting next to the likes of Beatrice, the famed elf swordsman, the goddess of war, alongside Princess Iris and Captain Midgar. Safe to say, it was definitely a who's who of royalty that Sid found himself sandwiched between. Of course, once the festival was over, Claire, after receiving her trophy prize and reward, would look to find and share in the jubilation with her brother, only to find that, well, unsurprisingly, he had disappeared once again, only incurring more and more of her wrath. Of course, in the castle of Midgar, Iris, along with Beatrice, the goddess of war, a swordsman of whom she looked up to immensely, would be having some dinner and conversation. Of course, Purvashat was there as well, along with the king of Orania. The festivities were going well until suddenly the window would burst open, Rose stepping forward. The Count saw this as his opportunity. As Rose would dash towards him, he would pull her father in between her and her blade, believing she would stop momentarily long enough for her to be subdued. Everything was going to go according to plan. It was all so simple. To make matters worse, the 6 saints were also in attendance, with the 6 nobles ready to strike and to stop her. Of course, to everyone's shock, Rose didn't slow down in her speed, but instead picked up, running her blade through the chest of her father. Although he would be slain, he was freed from the control, and in his last moments of life, he thanked her. Rose would then turn her blade to her own neck, believing that this was the best that she could do, to free both her father and herself. The guards, along with the saints, would be ordered to stop her immediately. Iris, along with Captain Midgar as well, looking to stop any more bloodshed from occurring. However, a great power and strength would push all of them away. The extra backup that had been called in would not arrive, having all been stopped by the members of Shadow Garden. Inside of the room, standing next to Rose, would be the man of the hour himself. Iris looked on irate. It's him. The Spider-Man. You came. I admire your conviction, Rose, but it would still be such a waste for it all to end here. What? Giving your life. That, while admirable, is also foolish. Not when it's not your only option. He would tell her to stand aside as he would stand center stage in the room. Ah, the 6 saints and Captain Midgar. So nice to see you again. With your fiancé. What is the meaning of this? The Golden Goblin would be the first to step forward, coming face to face with the spider. You have been causing quite a ruckus in our kingdom. It's so nice to finally see you, face to face. Well, I can't say that, considering the fact that you're hiding behind a mask. And tell me, are you not doing the same? I'll gladly take off mine if you take off yours. I'm afraid that's not how it works here. You're under arrest. You would be wise to get down on your knees and place your hands behind your head. I'm sorry. I had a little trouble hearing you. Hold on for a sec. Oh, yep. You're like Bebbert. No, I thought I was going to sneeze. Never mind. Oh, wait, no, it's coming back. Nah, I'm good. Do you always like to make jokes? Well, only when I'm doing my stand-up routine on Tuesdays. You should definitely come down and give it a try. I think you might actually bust a few laughs. This is serious. I don't know what little game you're trying to play, but it ends here. You, your shadow garden, this little facade and parade of destruction you've been causing around here, it all stops now. I don't know if you understand this, but you're in the presence of the 6 saints of Midgar, along with Her Highness and Captain Midgar himself, and the famed swordsman, Beatrice, the goddess of war. I don't think you fully grasp the situation here, my friend. You are completely surrounded. It would only take but one of us to strike you down. At our full fury, you don't stand a chance. You think so? Spider-Man would use his slime to draw his blade, taking a stance. If you're all so confident, then come on. What are you waiting for? I like this guy, Crimson the Red Hulk would say. Let's crush him. Immediately, the side wall would burst open, Spider-Man finding himself being chased down by everyone, all of them bearing in the hunt of the spider. For each of the 6 saints, they all had their titles for a reason. The Golden Goblin, the Saint of the Sky, flying on his golden glider, he had the mastery of the air and wind magic. Crimson, the Red Hulk, the Fire Saint. The angrier he got, the hotter his flames would burn, on top of his massive size and strength. Thundara, the Saint of the Earth, having been a practitioner of earth magic. She could cause the ground to tremor and shake with just one step of her foot. Mysterio, the Saint of Dreams and Illusions. His title was self-explanatory. Illusion magic was what he delved in. Morgana Le Fay, the Saint of Love. She was a wild card of sorts, a jack of all trades and master of many more mysterious in the arcane. And then there was Fury, the one-eyed cyclopic being of sorts. He was more of machine than man, to say the least, a combination of both the mystic and the scientific. It could hardly speak what you would consider human language, so it never spoke at all. But it took commands rather well, and it was very powerful. Sid had to guess he probably ran on some form of anti-magic, thus allowing him to compete with heavy hitters. Then on top of that, there was Captain Midgar, who had the blessing of the Lion God. And then there was his fiancée, Princess Iris, a skilled swordsman of the blade, along with Beatrice, the goddess of war, the elfin swordsman, one of the best in the world. For Sid, he definitely had his hands full, swinging and moving all throughout the city, ducking and dodging each attack that came his way. His spider sense working overtime as he too displayed the arts and the usage of his magic, that being in particular the magic of shadow. It rained as the dark clouds loomed over him high. He had taken a few hits, but he had managed to dish out some damage of his own. Before long, they found themselves on a large roof, with Sid being completely surrounded. Iris looked like she was entirely irate at everything that was happening. This is ridiculous. We're supposed to be the best. How are we losing to him? Oh no, princess. Don't feel so bad. We're only just getting started. No need to feel so intense. I mean, unless you are giving everything you got, then I gotta say, the royal family's more pathetic than Shut your mouth! Captain Midgard would stand forward. Enough of all of this tagging around. I'll be the one to finish you. Ooh, I'm so scared. Aw, is this the White Knight standing up for his princess? No need to show off on my account, buddy. I think you're all well and good. He would pick up his mace as he swung it towards him, knocking his sword out of his hand, forcing him on the back foot before ramming his shoulder into his gut, knocking him down even further. You have tested my patience. My fiance's patience. Her family's patience. This country's patience long enough. I don't care what it takes. I'll make sure you and every single one of your little Shadow Garden weirdos are standing at the guillotine ready to have your heads lopped off. And you know what? Just because you like to crack a lot of jokes, I'll make sure you watch their heads roll one by one. He felt something hit his shoulder. It was an object, but it wasn't a sword. A crowbar? The crowbar would wrap around his neck as Sid threw him far and wide. You can say whatever you want about me. I don't really care. You come after my allies, and you'll have hell to pay. I'll make sure to finish what Diablos started. So you are working with Diablos? No, not even close. But all of you have your heads so far up your ass that you don't even see the truth. And what is the truth? Iris would say. There is no truth with this one. Beatrice would swing her sword next, creating an opening. Crimson would come charging in next, burning up all of his fire, compressing it into one fiery blast, firing it point blank right at the spider. However, he would disappear and burst into nothing but shadow before reappearing behind Mysterio, punching him in his domed mask, causing it to crack. Morgana Le Fay would levitate multiple pieces of debris and rubble, flinging it towards him as he avoided it all, jumping into the air, only for the Golden Goblin to wrap a cord around him, swinging him around before throwing him back once more, back to the ground where Thundara, who had now reached for her stone club, would swing it directly towards the spider, and Iris jumping high into the air, delivering the piercing blow, driving her sword directly into his shoulder blades and sending him straight into the ground. It's over, Iris would say. You have lost. You think so? With one burst of energy, Sid would knock everyone back as he stood once more, pulling the sword from out of his shoulder. Damn, I gotta say, that actually stung a little. Yeah, now I think the warm-up's over. I can't wait. But let me ask you, do you have plans on killing a god? Oh, brother. What? Iris would say. Do you now think of yourself a god? Is that it? You're going to be the god of this world? No. You still couldn't be far more off the mark, princess. I don't plan on being a god of this world. But I have the ambition to kill a god. Diablos. I plan on killing him. I'm going to free him. And then I'm going to kill him. Are you delusional? The Golden Goblin would hover above. Even if such a myth were to be believed, you would actually free the god of calamity and destruction to kill him? I don't know if you're just plainly foolish or if you're trying to pull the greatest long con in history, but it makes no difference. We will not allow you to achieve your ambitions here. This is the day that you die, plain and simple. The day that I die. Oh, today's the day that I die. That's a good one. I'm sorry. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard. I can't stop laughing. None of this is a game, Iris would yell towards him. Oh, I know. So, how about we stop playing? Sid would jump into the air. His left eye would begin to glow as a large aura would start to surround the entire area. An aura that felt heavy and pressing, stopping many from even moving. Tell me, do you have the ability to stop something that's atomic? Can you even comprehend that kind of power? Captain Midgar was now back on his feet. Brian, what are you? It's fine. I'm gonna use my power to match his. Don't forget, I have the blessing of the God Lion. I can't fall here. Your treachery and your evil. It will all be... You think you're the only one that's special, eh, Lion Boy? Let me clue you in on a little secret. You're not the only one here that inherited a blessing from a god. What? Do you mean to tell me you too have a blessing? Yes. And unlike you, my god wasn't so pathetic that they died in battle. Mine was the last one left standing, and I inherited that will. I will let you all be known to this one time and one time only. I am not beholden to Midgar, to Orania, to Mestfault, or to any other damn country on this planet. I do not answer to a single one of you. There is not a throne alive that can ever control me. I answer to one and one alone, that being the goddess that chose me. I am Spider-Man, the Eminence and Shadow. I am truth and justice, neither of whom that lie. I am the one that will purge this world of its evil. And I will be the last. Now, fade away in atomic. Captain Midgar would ready himself for whatever stunt he was going to pull. However, what came next was something different. The dark clouds in the sky, they all faded in a single blast. What was left was a beautiful sun, a blue sky, a sun, and the rainbow that shined behind it. For Iris, and for everyone else, it finally dawned on them. If that was the type of power he had, if he had been serious, most of them would have died. Captain Midgar would move to Iris' side and console her, consoling the anguish, the anger, and the despair. In the meantime, Midgar would be reeling from its ordeals and events. Beatrice would make her leave, although she would offer help any way that she could. All they had to do was ask. As she left, though, she would go into the bathroom of a train car. As she looked into the mirror, the reflection was not that of the elf, but of a woman of red skin and dark black hair. I wasn't able to find you, my dear niece, but we will meet again. The mirror would then change until another figure was in its way, a being that looked like that of a goblin, a red goblin. Report, Beatrice would say. My queen, how was your trip in Midgar? Were you able to find her? Unfortunately not. However, we have more pressing matters to deal with. Is it about the cult of Diablos? No, I didn't gain much information on them either. However, we have an even worser of a problem. Worse? What could be worse, Your Highness? I want you to look into Shadow Garden. Shadow Garden? Have you heard of them? I'm afraid I haven't, no more so than rumor here or there. I didn't think they were real. They are very real. Could they be more of a threat than the cult? It makes no difference. The only way our people will ever be free is when the cult is destroyed. And even more so, to make sure that Diablos never again is revived into this world. Some fool claimed that he would be the one to do it, and then kill him. Kill Diablos? Who in their right mind could even offer such a challenge? He calls himself Spider-Man. In the meantime, Rose had been taken far away, far off to the dark mountains. She wondered why she was so far out here in the outskirts. The dark mountains, a treacherous range of mountains both big and small. They served as the natural barrier between the east and the west. To the west stood Midgar, Orania, and many other countries. And to the east, there was but one, the country of Mesfault, surrounded in the Crimson Sands. The Dark Mountains were a treacherous area. If you didn't know where you were going, you were likely to run into monsters and many different creatures and sorts. As they arrived, they would come to a castle. It was an outpost of sorts created by Shadow Garden. You could say it was to serve as a bastion. You see, because of the Dark Mountain's very existence, the countries that lied on the west could not easily traverse them to travel to the east, and the same applied to the east going to the west. The best you could do was send a small party to make the trek, but even still, for all the manpower and energy that it would exert out of an individual, it more or less wasn't worth it. There were only a select few in the world powerful enough, strong enough, and more importantly, financially capable of making such a journey. To send some army to try to travel through the mountains, it'd be the biggest waste of time and effort. Thus, it was the perfect area to be the settlement. For you see, Shadow Garden hadn't just been making moves in the west, but they were gearing up for a trip to the east. They had learned much from the countries that lied on the western side, but to the east, though, it was time to see what Mestfault had in store. As Rose arrived to the castle, she would meet many other agents of Shadow Garden, as Alpha had offered her the chance to join. As they walked underground to the catacombs, she would hear the familiar sound, a piano playing. As she grew closer, she knew who was playing it. The Spider-Man. But he wasn't there. Instead, it was just one person. Sid? Hey there, Rose. Sid, why are you... Come on, don't ask questions you already know the answer to. So, what do you think of this place, huh? I like it. Sid, you're the... I'm the Spider-Man. I know. It's a lot to take in. It's a lot to process. But, oh boy. I really did not plan this through. I had this idea to do like a cool intro, everything, and Rose would simply wrap her arms around him, hugging him. Are you, I thought I'd never see you again. You've been the one. The stylish swordsman. The Spider-Man. It was all you. Stylish swordsman? A long time ago, there was a masked swordsman. The one that inspired me. I believe it was you. Oh, you're talking about that. Oh, I was just training and testing myself. Really, I wouldn't call myself a master, but you are. Honestly, I felt like I had lost all hope, but if you're the one, then I know I can trust you. I know I can believe in you. I thank you for the vote of confidence, but you should know, the life I live is not an easy one and not for the faint of heart. If you think I'm some hero or some dad, of course you're not, silly. You're not a hero, I know that. You're better than that. Better than any stupid old hero. You are the Eminence in Shadow. Well, I thank you for the vote of confidence. But don't think I'm going to take it easy on you. I see a lot of potential, and I think you can bring it to the surface. So make sure you prove me right. Alpha, you're personally going to be overseeing her training. I want you to squeeze every ounce of talent out of her. Bring it to the full front. Make her the best she can be. As you wish, Lord Shadow. Alpha would then turn to Rose. He saved all of us, inspired all of us. It's because of him that we've been given a second chance. Do not fail him. I won't. I promise. Then let that promise be sealed with your life. Because now it no longer is yours and yours alone. Your life is in the hands of Shadow. He will use it as he sees fit. Are you prepared to make that sacrifice? I was always ready. That's what I like to hear. You might just make it after all. I'll show you to your quarters. We begin your training tomorrow. Who is Sid Kagenou? To many, he's just a lazy nobody. Average student at Midgar Academy. Comes from an average family of nobles, not too high up but not too low. In the shadow of his famed sister, the true master swordsman. He has ordinary friends. He eats ordinary, he lives ordinary. To many, he's just a random face in the crowd, no one special. But to those that do, to the few that truly know, he is far greater than anything you can ever comprehend. He is not the hero that the world wants, but he is the justice that the world needs. To be justice, he will be whatever he needs to be. Call him hero, call him villain. Call him good, or call him evil. In the end, he is but one thing. He is truth, justice, the Eminence in shadow, the Spider-Man. For Sid, he was looking to enjoy a nice, relaxing soak in the hot springs. At least that's what he wanted. But his spider sense would go off. A portal opening behind him. One figure stepping out. Sid couldn't help but smile. I thought you were dead, old man. Or what, did you become a zombie or something? No, let me take another guess. You're from another dimension, huh? And I'm assuming you're gathering a whole lot of people that are like you and me. I'm guessing that there's some interdimensional being, demon, dictator, lord, or whatever, looking to destroy the multiverse or whatever as we all know it, yada, yada, yada. And you've come around to recruit little old me. Did you read my mind? Superior Spider-Man would ask him. No. It's just that, you have to be prepared for all these sorts of things. Because you never know what's lying just around the corner. Although I gotta say, I did look forward to relaxing in this hot spring for a bit. But oh well, duty calls. So, Sid would turn to him, towel wrapped around his waist, and an eager smile. When do we start? This concludes The Eminence in Shadow, The Shadow's Web. What if Sid Kagenou was Spider-Man? Season 1, Part 5, the Season 1 finale. As always, thank you all for watching this series. Thank you all for enjoying it. Your likes, your comments, everything you've had to offer. It's been a big help, and I am just appreciative that you all have been with this from beginning to the end. Like I always say, I can't do it without you. You make the channel grow, you make the core grow. And remember, make sure that if you enjoy any other series on this channel, make sure that you're always engaging, liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing, hitting that bell for post notifications and all that good stuff. Because that lets me know you guys want this content and you want more. And you never know, with Season 2 around the corner, you might just be seeing Sid and company a lot sooner than you might think. But anyway, stay tuned for tomorrow's video as we have the Season 1 conclusion for Rosario Vampire Scarlet Knight. What if Skune was Spider-Man? Season 1 Part 5, the Season 1 finale. But anyway, that's going to do it for the end of today's video. I'm Javon Harrington with PowerCore Productions and Podcastings. Signing off, and I'll see you next time.